So we want to put in a kind of like a pause so that you can actually see each brick going at its own time so that you can kind of see everything flowing together. So we're going to go to that orange tab at the bottom and we are going to click and drag in a wait for. And we are going to say wait for 1 second. Now, you'll notice there's tons of different things you can wait for. We will get into some of these things like the color sensor or the gyro sensor, but for right now we're just waiting for time, which is always the default. So we're going to say wait for 1 second, so we honestly do not have to do anything to this brick. The third brick we're going to do is we're going to go back to the green tab. We're going to drag in another move steering. And this time what we are going to do is we are going to tell it to go backwards by degrees. So we're going to switch this drop down to on for degrees. And you will notice now where you used to have a pound sign and a rotating arrow, you now have the biggest degree symbol you've ever seen. We want to go backwards. The way we do that is we actually change the power to negative. So we're going to say -50. You will see now that arrow is pointing down. And we want to go back 2 full circles. So what you remember from math, 1 full circle is 360 degrees. So we're going to go backwards 720 degrees. So what should end up happening is your robot started in one spot, you went forward, you stopped, you backed up. You're probably going to end up in the exact same spot that you started in. At least that's the goal. Nothing else has to change. We're still going straight, so we don't need to change the arrow key, and we are still stopping at the end. So this brick is good. Then we go ahead and we go back to the wait for. We're going to wait one more time. So drag and drop another wait for in there. And then what we are going to do is we are going to go forward again. So go back to the move steering brick, bring one in, snap it to your program. And this time we're going to use on for seconds so you can see what that looks like. So on for seconds, we're going forward again, so we don't have to touch either the steering or the power. And we're going to go forward for 2 seconds is what is written in the program. Okay, now our program is ready to go. So we are actually going to download the program. When you're ready to download the program, you actually plug your robot in. Your robot does have to be on. It cannot download to an off, a program or a robot that's turned off. So when you plug it in, you'll hear a little ding. And then down here in the bottom right, you'll see that your robot is connected. This first one is download. It will download the program from your computer to the robot so you can actually test it on the ground. This play button, you do not want to do this because if you push this button, what happens is it downloads and it immediately runs the program. So if your robot is sitting on the counter, it will drive itself off of your counter. So please always use the download. When you click it, you're going to hear your robot make a sound so that you know it's been downloaded properly. And then you can disconnect your robot and actually run it on the ground. Now, after you've done that, you can see that the robot did what we wanted it to do. It drove forward, stopped, backed up, stopped, and then drove forward again. One thing we forgot to do while we were programming is we did not add comments. Programmers always comment, and what comments do is they tell a non-programmer what the program is going to do. Okay, so if Mrs. Crum came into our classroom, she would have no clue what we see on the screen right now is going to do to the robot. But if we had comments telling her what it's going to do, she could read those comments and understand what each brick does. So the way you add comments is you come up here and you push the little comment button. Now, it will put this teeny tiny little comment box somewhere on your screen. Typically, it's the last place you clicked. If you click in the middle of the box, you can drag it up and then resize it. And what you do is you write what that individual brick is doing. So this is move motors B and C forward 2 rotations. Then we're going to add another one above the wait for. And you can just say wait 1 sec, because we're just waiting 1 second. Then the third brick, move motors B and C backwards 720 degrees. Unfortunately, there's no degree symbol in the system to be able to use, so just write it out. Now, we want to say wait 1 second, but you know, we already have one that says wait 1 second. So if you click on it and do Control C or go up to Edit Copy and then click where you want the new box to be and then do Control V to paste, it will paste a new one in. So you do not have to keep typing the exact same box over and over again. So cut, copy, and paste still work. The last brick, I'm going to drag this over. I'm going to say move motors B and C forward 2 seconds. Okay, so now if Mrs. Chrome came in and looked at this program, she could read these boxes above and she would know what the robot was doing. So good programmers always provide comments. The other reason people provide comments when they're programming is because there's a lot of times where multiple people will be working on one program at the same time. For instance, when I was a consultant, we actually had some of our programmers in India. So when we went to bed at night, they were up working. And when we woke up in the morning and came to work, the programs that we needed written were already done and ready for us to test. So if I had started something and passed it on to them, comments would be helpful to tell them where we left off, what we were thinking, that type of stuff. So comments always help programmers in multiple ways. Thing you have to understand, the robot could care less about the comments. The comments are for people. Okay, the robot ignores the comments. They just read the individual bricks here. Go ahead and test the program again, download it and test it again, make sure it works. One thing you do want to do is save the program. So go to File, and we're going to go to Save Project As or Save Project, and you are going to save to the C drive. So you're going to click on C, and we're going to name this Move Forward. And you'll notice now that we named it, this is what shows up here. Now when you download the program that you named it as, that you saved it as, is what's going to show up. Okay, before when you downloaded it, what showed up was project. So now if you download it again, what would show up is move forward and whatever you saved there. So go ahead, save it,